Okay, so in this box is a prototype for a game called Finity from Tony Mullen. And Finity is a really interesting strategy game that's playable from 2 to 4 players. So you have a purple player, a yellow player, a blue player, and a red player. And all these pieces, I believe, were 3D printed. They're quite nice, actually. And the board is actually going to be constructed in several ways with these pieces here, as you can see. So you would be attaching, if I can get this off, it'd be great. Okay. So you'd be attaching the pieces. Yeah, that's a nice clicking sound. It's very, very appealing. I like that. Tony, you should bottle that and sell it. So, yeah. Let's see if I can. Let's see. Oh, there we go. And there we go. Now, I'm not sure which configuration this is. I'm just trying to show you how the game might work. Okay, so these are called stations. This is a stack of more stations. Let me just, I can't really lift it all the way up. Oh, nope, I can't lift it up like that. I wish I could. But these are called stations. This is the station. This is the center, if you will. So these are called path finders, and you're going to pick 8 of them. It's a shame that I won't be able to show this on the side. Well, I'll find a way. So it's 5, 6, 7, 8. Life always finds a way. If I can kind of show you like this, so without having everything fall. So yeah, I could have just had 2 cameras, but I didn't do that because I'm a genius. Anyway, so you're going to have in the center, you're going to have a series of pathfinders. This all makes sense in a moment, and then it'll really make sense ultimately. I promise. Okay. Okay. Note to self, just set up 2 cameras. Like, what are we doing here? And I guess I can just put this away. And you're going to have bridges. So the bridges are arrows. I have black bridges and white bridges. But each player is going to have, I'm not even really sure. Like I said, it'll all really, really make sense ultimately. So let's say the purple and orange player we're playing, and you're going to have I'm going to have like stations, if you will. So let's say the purple player station was there, and the yellow player. These are really nicely printed things, I gotta say. I like the feel of this stuff. I like that grit, that texture that you only get with a 3D printed object. Unlike the things that I fabricate with my mind. Okay. I'm checking the check. These are called base posts. So there's a yellow and a purple base post, You have blockers that can be put into block paths. So you're going to have those. And you're going to have rings. And the rings essentially are going to allow you. Oh, wow. I like how they nest. Look at that. It's hard to see there. So, yeah, but they're going to nest there. So you have rings. And what the rings are going to do is the game is really about following this path. It might be hard to see, but the path is black, white, black, 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 white, white, white. And the goal of the game is to go from your base post point and go to the center. So you want to go from your base post to the center area using that sequence. So you do have blockers that, well, your blockers start off normally, I think, like here. And then yellow would have their 2 blockers there. I don't feel like opening this. I apologize in advance. You get the idea. So you're going to have your blockers here, and let's say purple is going to start off, and they're going to start off with a, is this going to go? Okay. Start off with it might be a little hard to see, a black arrow going here, and that will be their turn. And then the yellow player would probably start off doing the same thing, putting down a bridge. The thing is, you can reverse bridges. The thing is, bridges you can't have the same color bridge going in the same direction. So I could not take this black bridge and put it in like that. I know it's kind of hard to see. Actually, let me just switch it around. So you can't have the same color bridge going in the same direction. So another thing you can do in your turns, you can reverse bridges. So let's say I took the black bridge. It does fit. I'm just, yeah, okay. So okay, that was my turn. So let's say I take another turn and I do this. Right? So I have a black bridge going out of my base post and a white bridge coming in this way. What the yellow player could do is you can reverse the direction of a bridge, yours or someone else's. So they could, be a jerk. I always say that, but I mean it when I say it. And they could just reverse this bridge. That's something they can do. However, that was not on purpose. However, if I already had a bridge, if I place another black bridge going the opposite direction, you can't have the same color bridge going in the same direction. You can have different color bridges going the same direction, but not the same color. The yellow player and vice versa could not reverse it. And that's one of those strategic elements that you can use in the game in order to build the sequence. Like I said, it's black, white, black, 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 white, white, white. And there's going to be bridges and blockers and things all over the place. And that really makes this game very challenging. This might be a better actual picture on the side of the box there, as you can see. So you see the sequence of things here, and you're going to have arrows just going everywhere. So that is Finity sort of in a nutshell. And also, once 20 bridges are placed out, at that point, you can remove blockers. So blockers can really hurt you. So if I put a blocker here against the yellow player, or the yellow player put one of their blockers to block mine, it can really hinder my ability to create this sequence to try to win the game. And there are sort of points that you're getting because you're trying to get 8, because the sequences are made up of 8 different things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So black, white, black, 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 white, white, white. There is a sort of a score, if you will, in how you're building that sequence. Also, you're basically trying to move the power from your base to other places to continue the sequence. So on a turn, you're probably going to want to start using the rings, and the number of rings that you've placed on a base indicate how many times you can have how many times like your arrows can carry the power, I guess. I don't know if that's really thematically correct, through that base. So what this means is, because I have three, if I built up, now this player probably wouldn't let me do that. If I built it up and had 3 different rings on this piece here, on this segment, that means I could have 3 different things. I could have something coming in, out, in, and in, or whichever. I could have 3 different things coming through here, which is very useful. And removing rings can hurt, because if I set up something where I had a whole bunch of rings here, and then if I didn't take the time to reverse the direction I need, then my opponent can come in, turn it around, and those rings might go away, or many of them might go away, because you're no longer continuing the sequence in the way that you were with the arrows reversed. So I've said a lot of words. So I think it's probably best that you hear from Tony himself, as Tony pretty much schools me in all things Finity. The game is available. I'm sure if it's public or not, but I did get a chance to play Tony a couple of times on Board Game Arena, and I feel like that's him telling you how the game really works, do a much better job than what I showed her. I did just want to show what the physical version looks like. So without further ado, you can watch our game on BGA. So I guess I should do like a fake introduction now that now that we're playing. So this is Finity on Board Game Arena, and I'm playing with the designer Tony. Your last name is Mullen.
Yep.
Tony Mullen. You want to just sort of give a little bit of background on how you started creating and developing and designing Finity?
Yeah, sure. So I teach computer science, and originally this kind of came out of some ideas I had about some concepts in computer science called finite state machines. And they're just a really simple sort of representation of a class of algorithms. And I started getting this idea that they'd make a really good game. And so I, basically spent, initially the ideas were just coming to me on my bicycle commute, and I just kind of kept working it out in my head for a while. And then I started building these prototypes. Initially they were all made up of circles, and I used little rubber bands to connect for the bridges. But over like 2 or 3 years of refinement, it eventually became the hex-based game that we got now. But it's been doing a lot of play testing, and it's been up on Board Game Arena now for about a year, and it's been getting pretty intensely play tested there.
Okay.
So, yeah, hoping to kickstart the physical game as soon as possible. As soon as I get the built up a little bit of an audience for it.
Okay, good. It's funny. I have a computer science degree, but I haven't done any actual programming or coding in a very long time. I got a job that didn't really require me to do any, so I've been doing other things, some more system engineering, safety kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And my oldest daughter actually just graduated with a computer science degree, so she's going to be out there in the workforce doing her thing. So that's exciting. So we're very proud of her.
That's awesome. Yeah, so it's this stuff. The finite state machines are a little bit on the theoretical side, but they actually do. There is a real strong connection with programming in the sense that that they're the underlying representation of regular expressions. So programmers often use regular expressions, and these are just kind of a notational difference from finite state machines. So it may not be obvious that the game is related to regular expressions, but at some level, it basically is. And so the stack here on the right side, this stack of cones, basically represents a sequence of symbols that we're trying to basically match by creating a finite state machine or something analogous to a regular expression that we build up competitively on the board.
Yeah, thinking about that way will probably have me losing even worse. So,
Yeah, that's probably not the way to think about it to play the game. It's best just to get used to playing the game in its own right.
so for those who are,
So I'll go ahead and
oh,
start.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say for those who are new, just to a refresh, I did speak about this when I was doing the video for the physical version of the game. You're following the sequence you see with the black and white. What are you calling those nodes? How are we referring to
Yeah,
those?
these are I call these path indicators.
Path indicators.
Yeah, and so they're read from the bottom to the top. So this pattern here, this path pattern for this game, this is randomly selected at the beginning of the game, and it's going to go black, black, white, white, black, white, black, white. So that's the pattern that we're trying to match with our bridges. And the bridges, of course, we'll be putting down as moves, and those are shared resources. Uh, so I'm going to go ahead and start.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll start with a bridge, and since this bridge here at the bottom, this path indicator here in the bottom is black, I know that it's going to start with a black bridge, so I'm going to want to probably get started with a black bridge, so I'm going to put a black bridge right there, and that's starting from my base post, which looks like I'm the aqua, the teal.
Okay. I have to make sure I remember to to switch which screen I'm recording because I have you on one screen and then mine on another screen. So hopefully I don't mess that up. Although everything can be seen on one. You know what, Tony? I think you're really onto something with that. So I'm gonna copy your move, but you know you'll understand why. So I'm also noticing that you did it sort of on the inside track.
Yep.
That's another Tony Mullen move that you all should pay attention to because
Yep.
this is game.
So now I'm gonna be a little aggressive. I'm going to sort of think forward to what I want to be probably my last the last bridge that's going to go into the center, but I'm also going to do this in a way that it's going to potentially block off some of your options on the other side there on the side here. So that's kind of an aggressive blocking move because you won't be able to put a bridge into this slot now.
That is aggressive.
So that kind of pushes you off in this direction.
Yeah, that definitely is. I thought this was a friendly game, Tony. What happened?
Well,
What have I done?
I'm just for your audience, I gotta.
Yeah, I
I gotta show
understand.
them how.
You have to show them just how a beating can look. Okay. So you did that from the base to my right, back into the center.
Yeah, I'm thinking that at some point I'm going to be trying to build up my stuff over here, and that's going to give me a path into the center on a white bridge. And at the same time, now if you put a bridge into either of these slots, I could put a blocker there, and that would put you just having one bridge over to this 1-0 here.
We don't want
So
that.
it kind of, yeah, you're in a better position off to the other side.
It's funny
Because remember,
part of me thought about adding. You can see my cursor on your screen, right? Or no? Can you?
let's see. I
It looks like
can't
you.
see your cursor on my screen. Are you sharing with me, or am I sharing?
Oh no, you
Oh,
can't.
I
I'm sorry.
can't see.
I'm looking.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the OBS screen. You can see it. Of course, you can't see it. I was thinking about adding a black bridge going back the other way, adjacent to the one I already have. But that
But
would.
yeah, that's a good move. Eventually, you're going to want to do that for sure. You're not really forced to do it right now because there are still two slots there. So I could put a blocker and you could still put a doubled up bridge. But you could do that. That's certainly something eventually you're going to want to do.
But I guess the question
By the way,
is.
do you?
Oh, go ahead.
Just wondering if you have the display of the numbered of the station numbers because it's an option in Board Game Arena. I think it's up here uh, preferences, and if it says enable board coordinates, if you say enabled, then we should be able to talk about specific stations with
Oh,
these like
where
-1, -1.
I went into the menu. I see
Up
game
here in the
options.
display tooltips, display
Oh, board coordinates.
board
It's right there. What am
coordinates.
I thinking? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just refreshed.
If you have
Yeah.
that,
Yep.
yeah, then we can talk about specific. It makes it a little easier to talk about.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I've taken a long time. Let me take this turn. But just a question. So I'm adding this arrow going the other way, but
Yeah.
it's not really doing anything yet because
No,
there was nothing there for it to. There was nothing there for it to come back from.
that's right. If I put, but it does prevent you. So now if you put a ring on this 0 -1, then I can't like orphan that ring. I can't remove that ring. So if I were to put a ring here, let's just show your audience here. If I were to put a ring here on 0 1, then if you want to, you could just reverse that black bridge, and we kind of both lose a turn. I mean, we both basically have spent a turn and not much has happened. You don't have to, but if you were to reverse this black bridge, then that ring of mine would go off.
And the goal is
Okay, but you're not
normally
going to do that.
you want to add the smallest ring on top of each area, correct? Like you would
Yeah, you
always
want to
make
start
yours
with
the
the smallest.
smallest by default, right? You'd
Yeah,
never want to.
yeah,
Okay,
that's right. Yeah, in the physical game, that's actually the highest. It's the topmost position. You can kind of get a sense of it here. It's the topmost position of the stack, and so that's the most powerful position on a station.
got it.
Okay, now I'm gonna
Have you given any consideration to doing a, I don't know, a digital and analog version of this sort of, not necessarily in tandem, but close to it?
like, how do you mean
Like, I'm
digital
just
and analog?
a app version of this game, just for people to check out as well.
You mean aside from Board Game Arena?
Yeah, like a
Yeah, that'd
standalone
be
app version of this game because it would. I feel like it would work pretty well. You could come up with a really slick interface, and
yeah,
the competition will be fierce because the game definitely lends itself to
yeah, it'd
just.
be cool. Yeah, that would be cool. Okay.
Oh, wait a minute, I switched to the wrong. Okay. All right. And the rules are you cannot have the same color arrow going in this. No, wait a minute. Yeah, you can.
Right, you can't have redundant arrows between stations, so you can't have this. You can't have the same color going the same direction between the same two stations.
Got it. All right, what do I want to do here?
Okay, now I'm gonna
Yeah,
go for a block.
I knew doing that was gonna make you bring the blocker out. I was yep. Yeah, I was waiting on that one.
Yep.
I had it coming. All right. And you need for each ring you have to. Yeah. So for the rings, you have to make sure you have enough. The rings indicate how many arrows, how many things can be going through something, correct?
Yeah, the rings indicate how many times your path can pass through that station. So if you think about you're trying to make a path of bridges from your base post to the center station that matches this pattern of black and white, indicators. And so um and you can go through a station as many times as you have rings on it, and you can cross over the same bridge as many times as you want. Like there's no limit to that. So let's see here.
Okay, so yeah, keep saying I can't put one in -1, -1, but I'm not sure why. Is it because I'm
Yeah, because
using up
you
all
need to
three
go. You
here?
gotta No, because you need to have black, black, and then white. And from your base post, you go black, but there's no second black before there's a white.
Ah,
You can't go back to here because you don't have a ring on this one. So you probably got to go black, black, white, but you need a ring on this one here.
I've been trying
That
to
make
add
sense?
one, but it won't let me add it.
Oh, you can't put
Yeah,
Yeah, you can't put a ring where your base post is. So you're gonna have to move your base post over here maybe and then put rings there.
mm, well, that
That's a
complicates
that's a
things.
rule that always gets people, but it makes all the difference
Yeah, but I feel like if I
in the
move the
game.
base post, what I've set up in 1, -1 will no longer.
That's the stuff that's on 0, -1. That'll all stay where it is. You can move your base post over there, and that'll all stay where it is. Yeah, good. Yeah, and now you can put stuff over here, and in 1, -1. And once you've done that, you could move your base post back over there, and then you'd have a black, white, or sorry, yeah, black, black, white, and then you'd be able to put one here because it'd be black, black, white, white. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
it
Yeah.
does.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it made. It's still telling me I can't do it. I thought it made
Do
sense.
what? What do you? Oh,
I'm.
you need rings on here. So if you have a ring on here,
Uh,
1, -1 at the bottom there, then in your next move you would be able to put a ring on -1, -1.
got it.
Yeah. So now you got black, black, white would bring you over to here. And you've got 3 rings on this 0, -1, so you can pass through that 3 times if you need to.
Hmm.
Okay. Now you are relying on this one bridge though, so that's a little bit uh, precarious. But I'm gonna let it stay there for now.
The friendly warning before it gets reversed. I gotcha. All right. Yeah, I'm putting a lot of eggs in that basket. That's true.
Okay, so now you'd be able to go black, black, white, and you'd be able to get one here, and you also go black, black, white, and get one here. And since there's white, if you had this thing linked with whites, those would both sort of support each other. So those would both have to be reversed in order to get rid of those rings. Go ahead and go here. So now having the high position here, the small ring here, means that I can remove bridges that are coming into this station. That could include.
Oh, that is what the highest position affords you. That is right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you were to get your base post on there somehow. That the base post is always the highest.
Ah.
So getting your base post into your opponent's business is a strong.
It's a strong move, but it also requires that everything else won't fall apart once you've removed it.
That's right. That's right.
A lot of dependencies there.
It can be kind of a desperate move.
It might call for it.
Okay.
That's.
Yep. Yeah. So now that you've got this ring here,
Mm-hmm.
it would be a big. So you could do something that would actually be a pretty strong move that I don't want you to do, even though you'd lose a bunch of rings. If you were to take this base post that's in 0, -1,
Mm-hmm.
right, you could move it to -1, 1 up here at the top. And that would be a legal move because you'd still have this ring on, and you'd lose all your other rings. So you'd lose most of the rings on the board, but you'd be up here, and then potentially that would put you. I don't know what I'd do then. I might swing over to here, but either way, it would be you'd sacrifice a bunch of rings, but you might be in a position that wound up like. If I didn't move back over here, then I'd be over here with no bridges, and you'd be over here with potentially a bunch of bridges already in place to start working with. So I'm not going to let you do that.
Thank you for explaining it to me, and then telling me you'll never get the chance.
I'm just going to move
you see, Tony, one of the challenges of this game is I'm not able to think that many moves ahead. Like, this is like chess.
Well,
like,
that was.
I like chess. I understand the rules, but I can't. Yeah.
Well, so I'm only talking about one move ahead potentially. So if you were to get like at -1, 1, if let's everything else being equal, let's forget about the rings for now. If we had our base posts only, and you had a base post at -1, 1 at the very top,
Mm-hmm.
and I had my base post at 0, 1 where it currently is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Think about who'd be in a better position. Because you'd be up here at -1, 1, and you'd have a bunch of these bridges already in place potentially to use, and I'd be over here in 0, 1, and I wouldn't really have any bridges to use. So that's what I'm thinking in terms of that. If you know, sometimes it's a matter of positioning yourself to just have a bunch of bridges at your disposal.
It just seems like something where if you haven't, like, because I clearly have not thought out about what that really means. I mean, I understand the potential, but because I have not mapped out what that actually means, I'm just, I just try to, like, I try to move my base post there. I can't. I'm curious to see what would happen if I actually did that, but I can't do it. But it's interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, it's in my experience with playing with some strong players, it comes down to a lot of times it comes down to just how to say it, like being concise, trying to get the job done in as few moves as possible, because wasted moves is really what you want to avoid. And so if you can get yourself into a position where there's a bunch of existing bridges that you could use, then you've got fewer moves that you have to make to put those bridges down.
True.
Right, so,
but I guess sometimes with this game, I'm sure you play this a lot, and clearly, just sometimes like a restart is the best thing to do. Not a restart,
sometimes.
but like shedding, even losing a bunch of rings for just a better overall position bridge wise could be worth it.
Yep. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and do my reverse.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see. I guess now the question is, how many turns are we prepared to? How many times are we to go back and forth on that before one of us is like, okay?
Well, you don't want to rely. You don't want to rely on a bridge that can be reversed. That's why That's why you want to make sure to get things doubled up there. So these two black bridges, these two black bridges, these two white bridges, they can't be reversed because there are already two on there going either direction. So, because the thing is, if you wanted to, when you ask how many times, it wouldn't be in your favor, because if you turn this white bridge around again and then put a ring on, that's two moves, and then I reverse the bridge and it's one move, and you lose those two moves. So then it's every two moves you make, I make one move and undo it, and then I can do my own thing in the meantime.
Yeah, I mean, while I'm waiting for this 13 to become 18 or 20 to start move to at that point we can start doing what again? You can move blockers. You get an additional blocker.
Yeah, when it's 20, then you can remove the blockers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got black, white potentially if you reverse this white, or you can start putting bridges out in this direction. And if you put a one bridge there, I'd probably put a blocker there. But then, like you say, in a few, when the bridges start filling up, you'd be able to remove those blockers. Okay, what happened? Oh, okay.
Not much.
Speaking of blockers.
The reverse. I see what you did there.
What was that?
Oh, no, I was just saying, I see what you did there. That didn't really do anything to you. Like nothing happened. It like gave you a point.
Nope, I've still got one black. So by path black from here and then black from here from my base post. So these are all still supported, and then black white gets me to here. So that's supported. So didn't really need that one that you just turned.
Yeah, I noticed. Hoping something would leave. It was like, no, it's redundant. Don't worry about it. You're good. Let's see here.
I think this is it. Yep.
Wow.
So look through that and see what's going on. So I've got, it goes black, black, white, white, black, white, black, white. And so I'm passing through this station 3 times, and this station 3 times, and this station once. Now I'm not passing through this at all. So this ring here I'm not using, but I needed it there in order to get my base post over there in the first place. But so yeah, that's the path. Want to do another one?
Sure.
Let's do one more. Propose a rematch. Okay, hopefully this one will let you go first. So this time we got black, 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 white, black, black, white. So that's our path pattern for this game.
It says first turn the bridge that blocks a slot. It keeps giving me an error message. I'm not sure.
The one thing you can't do on the first move is to block your opponent's slots. So if you're trying to play something that'll block my slots, you can't do that on the first move.
You know what? I had my screen down. I also wasn't looking to see that your name was above the blue. Yeah, that it would help if I knew what side of the board I was on. We're off to a great start. There we go.
Okay. I'm going to do basically the same thing.
Okay.
When I go second, I tend to, I'm not sure. I don't really know whether this is a particularly important thing, but when I go second, I tend to go on the same side as the person that did the first, just because it lets me engage more directly. And I feel like if I'm let's see. Okay.
Are you blocking me, Tony?
I'm kind of doing blocking stuff, yeah.
You can't add a ring to your base post?
Yeah, you can't add a ring to the station where your base post is currently residing. So you're gonna have to move the base post around a little bit to make that happen.
That just complicates things.
Yeah. Kind of makes the game though. If you don't have that rule, then you wind up having basically people don't move their base post and they just kind of try to race to complete a path locally, and it doesn't game doesn't really work very well.
Agreed.
Okay. Okay, good. Yeah, so that's forcing me to put another bridge in there, because if I don't do it now, then you could get two blockers in there and really mess me up there. So I pretty much have to do this.
But of course, you've blocked the area where my other bridge would go, right?
Where? Oh, up here.
-1,
Minus one,
-1.
minus one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and remember that's totally vulnerable. I can reverse that anytime.
True.
And although you can move your base post. So if I decide not to reverse it because I'm being cocky or whatever, and I'm toying with you, and I don't reverse it when I get the chance, it is possible to move the base post there, and that's probably a good place to move it. Yeah, because sometimes I do put down a ring, even if it's only supported by one bridge, and I just kind of tempt my opponent to reverse that bridge, and if they do, fine, I'll put in another bridge. But then if they don't, then I can move my base post to that place. So it's not. Sometimes it works to do that. Okay. At this point, I'm being a little bit. I probably should have reversed that, because you could put your base post in there now at 0, -1. And actually that might be something. I don't know. It's up to you. If you put your base post now in 0, -1. Okay, there you go. So now let's look at the situation we're in now. It's kind of a weird situation, and like I said, I could have avoided it by reversing this black bridge, but I just didn't. Now you've got a black bridge going out to here. -1, -1. So you can build up rings on there, and then maybe you could move your base post over there and build up rings on 0, -1. And there's a lot of black indicators here at the beginning, so that kind of gets you a good way. And now I'm stuck here because I don't have any. I could be really stuck. Because I just got a white going out this way, which is no good to me right now, and you've blocked off my black direction, right, over here between 0 and -1 and 1 and -1. I can't do anything because you basically can't path through your opponent's base post, right? Your base post is pretty much an impenetrable block, because anything I put down here, if I put a ring down here, you could just remove the bridge coming in there. So I'm going to have to try to get blacks going off this direction. And if you block me with your blocker, not that I'm telling you to do this, but if you do, then I've got sort of a problem. That makes sense. Where because you're in a better position now here because you got these black bridges already there, and I'm down here um, with no doubled up black bridges going out.
Yeah, my one question is I don't know if I can add enough. I know I can add rings to -1, -1, but I can't really add rings to 0, -1. So
You can add rings to -1 over here. If I were you though, right now, I would block me. You want to block me because you don't want me to start building out with blacks. So I'm going to give you the advice to block me down here, and then I'm going to have to figure out what to do next. You can use either of your blockers, yeah. And this blocker here, you don't even need it there because, like I said, this is impenetrable. I can't build past your base post. So now I'm in a real pickle, and let's see what I do. So I think what I want to do at this point is try to make sure that I get bridges in place that don't help you. And then when I get enough bridges in place, I can take the blocker off. So now I'm trying to make bridges that will help me and bridges that will not help you. So I'm thinking a black bridge into the center here is going to cut off some of your options here. It's going to block this here, and it doesn't really help you because it's a black bridge into the center, and you're going to need a white bridge into the center. So that's what I'm thinking now. I'm thinking, how can I inconvenience you with bridges? Okay, now remember, base posts are impenetrable, so you're not going to be able to go through me in this direction, and I'm not going to be able to go through you in this direction. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see what I want to do. I think I'm going to want to blast one out that direction. So now I basically can't do anything with rings. So I'm playing a completely bridge-based game until we get to 20.
yeah, if I knew how to play better, I'd take advantage of that. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm doing over here. I don't know why I did that.
Oh yeah, well, anytime you can get depth on your stations, like anytime you get multiple rings, that's going to give you more options to go through that station multiple times. So it's always good, when in doubt, putting down rings and getting depth on a station is not a bad move. Also, if you probably are going to want some white bridges to work with somewhere in here. You're probably going to want a white bridge going into the center somewhere. So that might be something to think about as well. But yeah, if you fill up this station and then you could move your base post there and then fill up this station with reds, that gives you options in terms of building a path. Okay, so I'm going to
I was waiting for that. Okay.
Yeah, well. Okay, so now we can start removing blockers. But before I do that, I want to get rid of that guy.
This is tense.
Yeah, you got a lot of rings on the board there, and you got a reasonable position with arrows. So can't quite see what you've got, but I want to try to cause you a little bit of delay.
That did not help me. Well played.
Getting pretty close.
I'd love to say I have this cohesive plan that I've mapped out, but I do not. I have goals. They're very short term. If enough of them happen, this could work out okay. If enough of them happen. If not, then here we are. Well played.
Okay, now what's going on here? How far are you from getting this done? Well, I think I can take that off. There wasn't any particular reason I used a medium ring there. I just didn't matter really. I thought I already had. Okay, let's see. So you really want to pass through that station. So I'm gonna go ahead and
make sure that doesn't happen.
So you don't have any place to go.
Yeah. I keep forgetting you can't remove a bridge if it's pointed at the center station. That really stinks.
Well, you can reverse it and then remove it.
You did it on purpose to make us take an extra move. Oh, and everybody. It affects everybody, but yeah. That makes sense. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. You did that, so I can't remove it because it's pointed at your base post. Okay.
Well, my system is running out of application memory. It says force quit. You gotta be kidding me. I don't want to do that.
Not now.
You gotta be kidding.
Not in the heat of this battle.
Not now. Yeah. I'm just gonna ignore that. Hold on. Let me. I'm gonna force quit some other stuff. Microsoft Teams. I can force quit. That thing I can force quit.
I can't. That's the problem. I can't move. This stinks. Yeah. Well, I'm not really sure what my options are at this point. I'm like right there. That's just so frustrating. I'm like right on the cusp, but I can't make it over. So close. You still there? Did you force quit Discord? Oh no. Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. Sorry, that crashed there for a second. Hopefully you can edit that out.
That's fine.
Okay, we're back in business. All right. So what do I want to do here now? I think I'm going to have to... That's what happened to you last time. Thought I was going to get that thing off there. There's still that white bridge that's keeping it on.
All my options, I can't do any of them.
Which ones what are you trying to do?
I'm trying to remove a bridge coming right out of your new base post, but I can't do that either. I'm trying to figure out a way.
Oh yeah, I'm on. Yeah, you have to have the high position to remove a bridge.
Yeah. Ouch. All right. Let's see. I'm not even sure how that even happened, but okay. Okay, sure. Yeah, I have no idea how you went from. Well, I mean, you went from 4 to 8, so it happened. Are you still there?
Hello?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. So my base post was up here, and from here, from -1, 1, yeah, I only had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess would have been that path, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Either way, there's several ways I had 4, but I wasn't getting to the whites here. But when I moved my base post to here, now it goes black, 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 white, black, black, white.
Well played. I think 7 is the best I've ever done. First issue. That's the closest I've been. I'll take it.
Yeah, you were pretty close there. I was having to look closely at what your pattern looked like. So, um, as you kind of have noticed, it can be kind of kind of how to say it, attention intensive to try to figure out what the paths are for your opponents. So usually I just kind of ignore the paths of my opponents if they don't have very many rings on the board. But if they have close to 7 rings on the board, 7 is the minimum number of rings you need to have a full path. Then I have to look pretty closely, and when you had 7 or so rings on the board and you had bridges that were both colors and so forth, so I really had to kind of look closely at what you needed. And that's why I put down this black bridge there, because I knew that if you had a white bridge there, you were just about done.
Yeah, you stopped because I had a couple of things I could have done to finish it, but they were no longer options. So,
yeah,
well played.
Yeah, when an opponent has a lot of rings on the board, you really got to look closely and try to figure out what they need and what you can do to get in their way. Well, good game. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it was fun. It was fun. So I look forward to obviously sharing this with others so they can start getting an idea of what the game is. And,
yeah, I think this was a nice example because we both kind of went all over the place and And yeah, I thought it was a good example.
Yeah, that was probably the best game I've had versus you. Even though I was a point away from winning and still lost, that's okay. I learned something.
Yeah, good.
I'm not sure what that is, but it'll no, I'm kidding.
Well,
I'm
there's
kidding.
no big prize money for this game at this point, but who knows? Maybe one day.
It is,
It's not in the Olympics.
uh, don't sell yourself short. This is a very crunchy, thinky game. You have a lot to consider. So, anyway, Tony, thank you for your time.
Well, thank you.
Glad we had a chance to finally get back to recording one of these. Well, we recorded two other ones that didn't pan out, but prayerfully this one is. If I'm looking at the levels correctly, we should be fine.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Okay, well, looking forward to hearing how it turns out.
Yeah. I'll know in a moment when when I play the recorded file. I will keep you posted. You have a good weekend.
Okay, well, if there's any problem, just let me know and we can do it again.
I guess
Always happy to play the game.
the one thing I should ask you is when do you intend on the Kickstarter to become like the in the fall, the winter? When are you sort of intending
Fall,
to?
yeah. I mean, I had been hoping for end of summer, but fall or winter are getting more realistic. It's just taken a long time to kind of build up the. It's just at this point, it's really just me doing the legwork to try to get try to get media and try to build up an audience. So, fall or winter is looking increasingly likely, but as soon as I'm able to, I've got some people interested in helping out, but right now it's kind of just doing this kind of thing and trying to get some reviews and get some interest and building that up. So yeah, fall or winter is probably the safest bet, but maybe don't make any explicit dates at this point.
No, no, of course not. Of course not. I'm just curious. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you enjoy your weekend, and I'll let you know how it turns out very shortly.
You too. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
You too. Bye.